Welcome to our garden here in Zone 6A, Upstate New York. It is time for our mid-August garden walk. We love to take you on these walks once a month in the middle of the month so we can really keep track of how the garden's looking. For a full in-depth garden tour, those are always posted the last Thursday of the month, so keep an eye out for those. But let's get started. Right here, we have our Invincibelle Sublime Hydrangea hedge, and I am astounded by how beautiful these flowers are, even after months of being in bloom. They fade so nicely.
I love that they don't really brown out or turn into any kind of funky color. They're just beautiful. And the plant, let me back up a little bit, Eric. They've been hit with a few summer storms and they're holding their own. Their stems, a few flops, but for the most part, they are really upright and really clean.
Yeah, I think what's so impressive is as the blooms age, they don't lose color. They're a gorgeous addition to the garden, and I love the pairing with the Weeping Ruby Falls redbud behind it. That dark purpley red foliage against this green.
Really
I think
pops.
it's stunning.
Really pops.
So come on this way. Right here is the entrance to our back patio, and to my bottom left, we have a little pop of lemon coral sedum, but on each side, midnight wine shine. And although they're not flowering right now, I think that they bring a really beautiful, deep, rich color, and the sheen on the foliage is so pretty, especially this time of year.
They are really well named. The leaves are very shiny.
Which way should I go? We should talk about the fountain. Yeah, this is our Katarina fountain. This is the color gray stone, I believe. I love this fountain. It does splash a little bit, so we only run it when we're outside. Behind that is a hedge of Lady of Shalott roses. They just had a huge flush. We cut them back, and you can tell they're getting ready to push out another flush right here.
There's an incredible amount of new growth coming on these.
They smell amazing. So this whole area here was planted in 2022, just to give you an idea of how old everything is. And there's 5 of these roses here. We wanted to plant them against this wall, so as we sat up on the terrace, we could get like fragrance and enjoy them. And so far it's working.
It's working.
Yeah, right behind you, Christopher. One of my favorite moments in the garden because you see it as soon as you come through the arch into the backyard. Verbena bonariensis, grown from seed that has reseeded itself every year, combined with Tottering by Gently and Rock and Play in the Blue salvia. I think it's stunning. It's pollinator heaven. They love it. We're early in the morning right now, but later as the day progresses, covered in butterflies.
Yeah, I think this combination is so funny. And talk about your investment paying off. I bought 1 packet of Verbena bonariensis seeds a couple years ago, and I have not had to plant it ever again.
It's a really cool, it's an annual, but because it reseeds itself, it just kind of comes back. Sprinter boxwood, but look at this. This is our little trio of Let's Dance Skyview. It's a big leaf hydrangea. It's newer on the market from Proven Winners. It's a continuous blooming hydrangea, which means it's always in flower, and it may die back to the ground for you, which it did for us in our zone over the winter because of the harsh winter winds and the cold temperature, but it quickly reflushed and it has been flowering all summer long. You can see some of the older blooms. You can see some of the newer blooms in between that stage, and then more buds coming. So it's like a non-stop flowering hydrangea, and I adore it. Speaking of hydrangeas, I want to show you the Quickfire Fab, which is starting to turn pink because as the nights get cooler, the panicle hydrangeas will start to turn. Look at all this. This is so pretty.
We're just wafting in the breeze.
I know. Prismatic pink phlox combined with the Quickfire Fab hydrangea with the Tough Stuff Top Fun.
This is a really funny area because I've got that pergola post in the way, so it's hard for me to get up close to things, but it's such a wonderful combo right here.
It really is. And look at this Ancient Mariner rose. Oh, there's a bee in there having his breakfast.
The Ancient Mariner rose gets so blousy at this time of year. The petals are just kind of loose, and then they open to a really pretty yellow stamen in the center.
It's really pretty. Christopher, come look at it from this angle, because I feel like with the morning light, you have to see this. From this angle right here, I feel like it's such a combo.
And I remember reading one of the things David Austin's so particular about with his roses is he wants the petals to be very translucent. So you get this kind of glowing in the light.
And then you look at that combo right here with this backed by all of this purpley blue covered in pollinators. It's amazing.
It is. Oh, by the way, that prismatic pink phlox, that is user error. I know I have water to them. They are a newer planting. I don't have enough water to them, so they're a little unhappy with us, but they're okay. Good plants still.
The phlox from Proven Winners I'm so impressed by. Coming through here, we have catmint, which we have repeated throughout the garden. More verbena bonariensis. My favorite rose from Proven Winners is Flavorette Honey Apricot, because can you beat that color?
So pretty.
And the structure of that bloom is absolutely gorgeous.
Little delicious flavor on there too. I love
that. There's actually 3 of them. Now, I think somewhere on the tag it says they get pretty tall, like 8 feet tall, but these have been in the ground since 2022 and they've never gotten much taller than this. I think probably because we're in a cooler zone. Do you think that's it, Christopher?
I think it could be that. It also could be some of the watering is going to be adjusted in this area. Just the coverage of water will improve, and we'll have to see what it does next year.
Should we do like a little potager walkthrough or head out?
Let's do a little potager walkthrough.
Okay, I don't think we've done this. Yeah. So we have some ornamentals in here, some super bells. We've got our basil, some herbs in this bed, beans. Now, we are not edible experts. We kind of just grow what we like or what intrigues us, and we have fun with it, and we don't stress about it. So nothing here we're claiming to be experts on. Especially look at these strawberries that we're just letting go.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just...
Yeah, we're not doing so well on our edible...
Our harvesting?
Yeah.
But it's pretty to look at, right? Our cascade hydrangeas with super bells around them. Come on along this way, Christopher. We've got peppers and tomatoes and Invincibelle, but look at this lavender mist meadow rue. One of my favorite perennials in the garden. It was a completely accidental perennial. It came as a weed in another plant.
Yes, because your mom had planted something at her old garden before she moved, and she said, "What's this?" We thought it might be columbine, and then I planted it back in this garden, and it's certainly not.
It's not. And we have collected seeds every year, and there are other little babies all around. So we've been able to collect seeds and plant it throughout the garden. So it's lavender mist meadow rue. Underneath that is our Brunnera and our geraniums. Underneath our blood good Japanese maple. Oh, we got to fill the bird bath.
Oh, I did see some finches, because I believe the finches like the thalictrum seeds. So the finches have been also dancing around in the bird bath.
I bet. Oh, we need to fill it though. Oak leaf hydrangeas. Look at this morning light miscanthus. If you're ever looking for an ornamental grass that's a part sun location, this is a great choice right here.
It looks so good.
I love that. Christopher, show them all of our new gem boxwoods that are going to get installed soon.
Just a few boxwoods. I actually was able to put them on drip. The cans were just spaced far enough apart that I put them on brown drip so we wouldn't have to keep after them.
Another one of my favorite combos is the Lark Ascending Rose with this pink blush in it, combined with the pink blush of the Little Lime Punch, and then this accent of the delphinium between them. I think that's really pretty.
It's a really pretty one.
And underneath that is a phlox.
This is a Southern Blaze something phlox. It's new for next year. Very tidy, very intense color. And it's been pruned meticulously on the backside by a rabbit.
Yes, the rabbits seem to love it. And then we've got the patio capped off with Walker's Low Catmint. And then we'll head this way over to the pond.
Whenever we're talking about the pond, we like to start all the way at the beginning of the west border because we worked so hard on this. So we want to make sure the whole thing is in that picture. This area has been a lot of fun to develop. And you can see we have these 2 long drifts of new for next year, Supertunia, Mini Vista Pink Cloud, monster performer. Whether or not we're going to plant it again, we'll see. But the pink cloud is a really good performer if you like that pale pink. These rock steady chase trees, which we're going to be treating a lot like a butterfly bush. In our zone, these will probably die to the ground, similar to a butterfly bush. Otherwise, it would be a big, huge tree. It's kind of like a catmint butterfly bush hybrid for us. I really love that. How exciting are Blue Feathers Hinoki Cypress. When we bought it, it was a little globe and we thought it was a cute globe. Come to find out, it's gonna grow into a really nice cone shape for us. We've got awesome action over here on the Pinky Winky Prime Hydrangea, which I've already announced is going to be my favorite hydrangea of all time. It's going to get quite large in this space. Look at the size of this panicle, probably 18 inches long, on a plant that was just planted as a 3-gallon. In front here are rhythmic blue hydrangeas. They're reblooming. The Let's Dance series is what tells you they're going to be a reblooming member of the hydrangea family. And we're getting those blooms. They've put incredible growth on this year too, which I'm very excited about.
When we first planted those, I think they were little 1-gallons. They were tiny. Yeah.
Very exciting. We have not had a bloom on our David Austin Elizabeth rose to share yet. These are 3 roses that are also newly planted. Look at this rose. This is a plant that is known to get quite large, similar to that Lark Ascending rose. So this area will eventually have 5-foot tall, covered in gorgeous roses. And that one has this traditional old rose scent that I love. Pufferfish, looking so cute. This is similar to a Bobo hydrangea, but after the bloom happens, it spits out this little tiny guy at the top, which I think is really cute. It's a little looser of a panicle, so that's also very beautiful. All right, last time jumping over. I'll go back over here now, Eric.
I'm going slow, don't worry.
Okay, this is my number 6 dahlia, grown from seed last year, and then I saved the tubers. The thing I'm the most impressed about, not only are these 7 feet tall, their stems are so long that if you wanted to put this in a vase, you can cut pretty far back on that. I'm excited about that one. Roses here coming back nicely. Powerball hydrangea. This is new for next year. The difference with this hydrangea is it's a panicle, but it grows kind of a rounded shape instead of the cone shape a panicle normally gets. Our native ironweed that our friend Greg had rooted for us from a seed in his garden, starting to put on beautiful purple flowers with that nice olive green texture. We just saw masses of these plants at the Chicago Botanical Garden, and it made us much more excited even than we already were for that plant. The Gara in the ground, Eric, you've won me over.
It's so pretty.
This is honestly more successful in the ground for us than it has been in containers, but also user error because we planted it with really vigorous plants and they're kind of getting smothered. But the other fun thing, hopefully by the time we do our full tour, Eric, we are fully budded up on our Beyond Midnight Caryopteris.
That's awesome. That was also super tiny when we planted it in May.
Very, very tiny. And this is another plant that may act kind of butterfly bushish for us, meaning it could die to the ground and come back each year. If it does survive, it's like a pretty sizable, like 3-foot shrub.
And that's why it's surrounded by annuals.
Exactly. Fill that space in. The purple fountain grasses, did we plant those as regular annual size?
Yeah, they were quartz.
Yeah, that from a quart. Again, somebody has to make a perennial purple fountain grass for Zone 6. They'd be our hero. Supertunia, Mini Vista Indigo, big success. Super successful. The Pondless Waterfall, doing beautiful at this time of the year. Sweet Caroline, Sweetheart, Shadow Storm, Sweet Potato Vine. Got to get all the words out. Beautiful, new for next year, Sweet Potato Vine. It has officially started to spread itself throughout. The reason we're choosing a sweet potato vine here is because under some of these rocks are the access to the pump and filters that run the Pondless Waterfall. So we want something like an annual that gives us coverage and beauty, but isn't so permanent that we can't access important stuff. Sun Patience Compact Purple, they blew up.
They did. They're like little mini shrubs now.
They are. They're like a little bush. Some of them are out of flower right now, but covered in buds. Love that.
Oh, this is a great place to compare the meteor shower versus the traditional.
Okay, meteor shower verbena. It's a sterile hybrid that stays shorter, meaning you can plant this in a container in the landscape. This will die because it is an annual. Right next to it is the, I guess non-native, but it is a species. So this is going to seed itself around. It gets much taller. For us, this will die and then come back from seed. I believe in zones like 7, 8, this actually is a perennial, which almost scares me because if it reseeded and it was a perennial, ooh, that could get...
So be cautious. If you're in a higher zone than us, be cautious with verbena.
That could get real dicey. I am going to bring you over here because Remember we talked about thrips not too long ago? Well, I think we're winning the battle against the thrips because Upstate New, which does has a little bit of something happening. A couple flowers are coming out. I have to say, this is gonna be, I will report, my favorite rose. I love the shape, I love the texture, I love this little bit of apricot at the center and the pale outsides. As this gets under control health-wise, it's going to just be so perfect. I'm really excited about that. Down here, about to blow up into flower, is in my shadow, I'm realizing. Let me back up a little bit. This is Prairie Princess. It's a new hybrid version of that native ironweed that we were showing you. Similar color or leaves, but much skinnier, stays much shorter, and a little bit of a pinkier purple flower, but this very successful perennial. I'm looking forward to watching that grow.
The pollinators have woken up and they are starting to really enjoy this rock and play in the blue salvia here. We also have rock and blue suede shoes. It's kind of nice to see them side by side. You can see how much more floriferous the rock and play in the blues is than the rock and blue suede shoes. Although I do really like the fact that the calyx on these are dark blue. It makes it look like they still have flowers even when they don't. There's also a little pop of white in there. I don't even know if you can see it, Christopher, but that is some phlox luminary backlight.
Yes, that's
I believe it's
luminary
called.
backlight. Let me get from this angle and you can see it. There it is. You can just see it shining through in the middle. We may have planted a few too many salvia in that, but you know what? It's gorgeous. We're learning.
Well, they're so small when you get them that you forget how big they're going to actually get. Right here is a drift of Webmaster Spiderwort. I think we're taking this out.
I believe we're taking it out. I don't know if it's going to stay in the garden in a new place.
I don't know. Well, it's just not the place for it right there. More verbena bonariensis, but come on this way, Christopher. We have our artist blue floss flower hedge. We have a lot of artist blue floss flower repeated throughout the garden. I didn't know, did we want to go down the berm quick? We have a massive drought right now. I mean, we have not had a good rainfall in probably like over a month, close to 2 months. So everything over here is on drip. The berm is not on drip. So you can see this is just like really weeping for water at this point in time. I did go through yesterday with the hose.
It's just a little bit tired. I think now that we have that hose on the berm that we just had installed this summer, I'll probably run some drip there just for these supplemental times because this area generally doesn't need water.
It usually doesn't because we get enough rain, but let's continue this way. More of that sweet romance lavender under our Princeton Century Ginkgo, Serendipity Allium. We've got Rose of Sharon starting to flower, but I wanted to show you this back corner because it's one of my absolute favorite spots in the garden, particularly this time of year. And I think that purple castor bean is the moment in this back corner this year. What a special happy accident.
That was something I ordered on eBay. I got 8 seeds. I had 1 plant germinate. That is a single plant. And yes, it is on drip and it's actually in a location. It might get a ton of drip because remember we had a canna lily there.
We gave them extra drip. And so we had this one little purple castor bean in the spring and it was so tiny. You probably remember from the planting video. And we're like, where are we going to put it? And I was like, oh, let's put it where those cannas were last year. And it just worked out, such a happy accident. And underneath that are more Serendipity Alliums covered in bees already. We have Litchfield Angel Rose with a nice little clematis climbing up through it. But I love this white phlox, luminary backlight phlox with the icebreaker Korean fir, cherry truffle heuchera. Up here is very awesome hardy hibiscus, Candy Crush hardy hibiscus. And then right here is a failing hedge of Invincibelle mini mauvette that we're actually going to remove this fall and replace with something else that I think will do better here. This combination of this bold dark purple foliage with the bright yellowy chartreuse of the lemony lace elderberry is just to die for, in my opinion. And then separating them up the middle is a grouping of Jackmantii birches. So as those grow, we'll keep limbing them up so the canopy is nice and high. And of course, my favorite ornamental grass in the garden, the North Wind's prairie grass, underplanted with Firelight Tibet hydrangeas and Autumn Joy sedum, more Serendipity Allium. quick fire hydrangeas with pinky winkies. Now look at that castor bean back there. That's the Impala, the red version. Totally different, not as big as the purple.
Not as big, and also those are not on drip.
Oh, they're not?
Those have never had water to them.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
that makes sense.
But I gotta say, Eric, the morning light coming from the east, you know, towards your eyeballs right now,
Yes.
this area really shimmers. It's so interesting. So I'm hoping the detail shows up on camera. That's always something that we're striving for. But this little picture is so beautiful with the morning light coming through.
I am loving it. In the ground here is Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz.
Cool Jazz.
Cool Jazz, new for 2026. Look at this container. The Superbena pink cashmere has taken over.
It's
It's straight up taken over. There were 2 of them in here, and it is living its best life and killing its neighbors.
It really removed almost every neighbor to the point where you can see meteor shower, a few bits. You
Yeah.
see a little bit of Gora, but realistically, 2 pink cashmeres was enough to take out everything else.
It's bonkers. I don't think I would do pink cashmere again in a mixed container. I would probably do just pink cashmere by itself,
Yeah.
or I'd pair it with something really, really vigorous like a Supertunia Vista. But I can't think of anything else that can keep up with a Superbena pink cashmere.
It's a powerful plant.
Down here, we've got some fresh blooms on our Incredible Stormproof, a new variety from Proven Winners. They're really doing well, actually, considering they were just teeny tiny little quart-sized babies this spring.
Yeah, they were babies.
I am absolutely infatuated with this combination right here, Christopher. The Tromnar Blue Spruce, that icy blue needles, combined with the purple of the Newly Noir Coleus, combined with the hot pink of the Oh So Easy Peasy Rose, combined with the blue of the Augusta Lavender Heliotrope and Artist Blue Floss Flower, with the Rock and Play and the Blue Salvia and the gold of the Anna's Magic Ball. I mean, look at this combination.
I love it. I have this thought, Eric. Would it not be nice to put another Anna's Magic Ball maybe next year where the some of that heliotrope is?
There's always room for another Anna's Magic Ball because it stays so compact, but it brings that beautiful chartreuse evergreen to the border.
Love.
And of course, more autumn joy sedum repeating throughout the garden. And we are heading into anemone season. These are Fall in Love Sweetly. You can see how many buds. It's already starting to open. They're a gorgeous pink anemone, but this is loaded with buds. There will be so many flowers on here that you won't be able to see the foliage when you're standing above them. That's how intensely they flower. More serendipity allium. And the reason we have so many around our garden is because they're so easy to divide. If you get serendipity in your garden, just keep dividing it and spreading it around. I'm also impressed with how well the Metamorphosa Japanese maple has done. That has probably doubled in size, which concerns me a little bit considering its placement underneath the Eastern Redbud. But
I'm okay with it.
So pretty.
I love it.
It is really, really nice. More lavender mist thalictrum back there. And then that brings us to the hydrangea room.
Our Gothic arch is the perfect width to have very successful, very lush clematis. This is Betty Corning. It's a type 3 clematis. So believe it or not, this gets cut all the way to the ground, about maybe 18 inches from the ground. And it is doing wonderful. It's getting quite high. And you can see the generous gardener rose peeking out over the top. Not quite as vigorous, but I think over the years, the climbing rose should keep that vigor.
I think so. You know, the thing that impresses me most about Betty Corning is her nonstop flowering.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit of a grapey kind of smell. Below that, we have Bobo Hydrangea that are doing quite nicely. This area here has taken on a bit of a change because a couple years ago, I planted Asian Garden Celosia, and they have reseeded themselves. And even though they haven't been planted for a few years, a whole bunch popped up. And what a beautiful sort of magenta fuchsia flower just kind of popping up in there. And there's some perennials in there that are sort of done for the season. So they're kind of filling in. It's a really nice little bonus.
Nice surprise.
I enjoy that. We have the lovely Winecraft Black Smoke Bush and the Kinsley's Ghost Honeysuckle. That foliage contrast is epic. Below that is a Mugo Pine. This is Magic Show Ever After Veronica and Peachberry Ice Heuchera. One of our favorite pairings in the whole garden. It's just that blue and orange. It's really nice. In this area, we've done blocking of perennials on the border as sort of ground covers. One over here we need to fill in a little bit more. The lamium is incredible. And then this heuchera here, the pistachio ambrosia, looks awesome. Invincibelle Spirit 2, putting out a little bit more color. But this is one that fades to a really nice sort of dusty green pink, as opposed to like a beigey color. So I love that. The Aphrodite Sweet Shrub putting out massive canes next to our, wow, the Winecraft Gold Smoke Bush. Eric, it's so big.
We have to prune that back this spring.
It has to be cut because it is tremendous.
It's supposed to get 4 to 6 feet tall and wide.
Yeah. Okay. It's very happy
Back
in its
to the
place.
flowers.
Back to the flowers. Over here, we have the Hydrangea Room mixed hedge. We have the 4 different types of Annabelle hydrangea or arborescence type hydrangea. They're going to be mixing and looking beautiful. This time of year, it loses some of its color and some of its luster, but it still has such presence, and I really appreciate that.
I think that's why I like the Invincibelle Sublime so much too, is because it doesn't lose its color.
Right. It does.
There are Invincibelle Sublimes here in the back, and they're still green.
Yeah, they're doing beautiful. Moving underneath the pollarded willow, you can see our shade area. A little maintenance to be done in here just because it's hot. And this is a torchlight coleus, my personal favorite coleus. I like that mix of color.
I also like that it does not flower.
It does not flower for us. Limelight Prime hydrangea next to a Hinoki cypress that we have never trained. We've never done anything to it. It's just doing its thing. A bit of flop on the Brandywine viburnum. Decisions to be made there. A little bit of flop on the Lime Ricky hydrangea, but these get such massive florets. I almost don't blame it because they're huge.
We have to start collecting the dried florets so that we can make some sort of wreath or swag for the front door.
Yeah, we need to do some kind of craft going into the season. Surefire Rose Begonia it's such a...
Firing.
It's firing. It is surely firing. Love that. We can see up here some of the Superba clematis that is planted on the Jardin Tower with the teasing Georgia climbing rose, ready to put out another flush of blooms. Gosh, this rose gets big in a hurry. This died almost to the ground completely, and it is that big. The Gatsby Pink Oak Leaf Hydrangea doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's such an early flower that the florets tend to, they get done with their intense pink show pretty early, but we're gearing up for the fall show, which is the leaf color.
Are you seeing the geraniums growing up in?
Yep, this is a Roseanne geranium. Over time, the hydrangea has grown over our Roseanne plants, and they have started shooting up and climbing through the hydrangea, which I think is really fun. So this hedge of catmint, it's lovely. There's some maintenance to it, but what if this was a continuous blooming hedge? That's all I'm gonna say. And the Vanessa Bell roses behind it, they're doing well, coming into another flush under the tricolor beech. The green walls are really filling in this year. The plants are just growing, which is very nice. This soft serve cypress, or Chamaecyparis, I believe, that's gonna be about 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide. And of course, Spring Grove arborvitae. This is gonna be a nice big tree, continuing our green wall concept. There's some more ageratum down here. The first of our firelight tidbits to start getting a little bit of a pink tinge to them, which we appreciate. Some more catmint. And then Eric, if you back up, this is what you see when you're driving into our neighborhood as you come in from the main street. You see this vanilla strawberry hydrangea just starting to get its first pink on it. This is a really good hydrangea for that pink color. And below it is Surefire Rose Begonia. And what's very funny is I thought these were so far in front of the hydrangea that you'd see them all season. But the hydrangea has grown so much. They're actually a little bit buried right now. Eric did some big time deadheading on our wee white hydrangeas up at the front corner of the house. They're a white hydrangea, and over the season, they start to get a little bit browned out sometimes. So this is putting out new growth, and we're gonna have white flowers there soon. Big hedge of the ageratum, looking amazing, and more of these firelight tidbit hydrangeas, which are so beautiful and so dense. You honestly, by the time these pieces start to bloom, you'll almost not be able to see any leaves.
We have our trio of matching containers up front flanking the garage doors. This has to be one of my favorite combinations we've ever had in these containers. We have a carding mill standard rose, so it's in tree form here. It's starting to flower again, although these flowers are extremely tiny for some reason. I think it's been the heat and the lack of steady watering. These are one of our only containers not hooked up on drip. So if we don't remember to do it,
Not happening.
they don't get water. So which reminds me, we have to water these as soon as we're done filming this morning. Super Tunia Bordeaux, Silver River de Delta, a new annual from Proven Winners for 2026. Solenia Apricot Begonia, which I thought pulled these colors together very nicely. And Plum Dandy Alternanthera. And that repeats 3 times in front of the garage doors. So come on this way. Don't look over here.
Don't look,
Surprise
don't
for
look.
Later. Gabriel Oak Rose starting to flower. More catmint. Firelight Tidbits. This is a great hydrangea because this is the full size. If you want a panicle hydrangea that's guaranteed to flower for you, this is the one for you. Traditional English lavender. Coming down this way, our weeping Norway spruce is being trained to not lean over. More anemones. These are a little further ahead than the ones that get full sun. This is the west side of the house, so it really doesn't get sun until the afternoon.
And you know what, Eric? Those are also younger plants because those are transplants.
Oh yeah, those were divided and transplanted over here. Vanderwolf Pine, I think this is the year where this bed connects around the Vanderwolf Pine and this becomes planting bed.
I think you're right. I would love it if there was quite a lot of stone, like big pieces of flagstone, but maybe we could do
walk through.
like a ground cover stone concept. I really love that look.
That would be pretty. We could definitely incorporate something like that, but I think that this is getting combined. It might even go, I don't know. We've got a project brewing. It's in our brains. It'll come. So next year, I said no more humongous projects because you know we did this whole border this past spring. But, you know, you're a gardener. Gardeners are always changing. So come on through here. Invincibelle Lace, Walker's Low Catmint. I'm really impressed with the Wabi Sabi Japanese Maple. Claire Austin. This was a rescue rose. Remember, we bought this for like $10. It was a twig at the end of a season clearance, and it's finally getting established enough, maybe 4 years later, to really start flowering and climb. It's pretty. Red Obelisk Beach, more Baptisia. You can see, even though it's not in flower, it's still a really pretty texture and foliage to have, especially this bluish against the gold of the Ember Waves Arborvitae with the dark purple of the, don't tell me, it's like Night Ember Sedum?
Night Embers, which I remember because it's Ember Waves Arborvitae and Night Ember Sedum.
Like this combo right here is so pretty. And then you have these Invincibelle Ruby hydrangeas and our traditional lilac. And I think that brings us around the entire garden.
Wait, there's one more rose.
Oh, geez, Louise.
One more
My
rose.
favorite climbing rose. Woolerton Old Hall. I think it might get a little overspray from the lawn sprinkler because that's what causes that. But this is a pretty rose. Beautifully, deeply cupped, highly fragrant.
Love
Such
it.
a special rose. If you'd like to know the 12 secrets we wish we knew before we started gardening, check out this video here. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.